As we're recording tonight, riots are going on in Egypt, and we hope that this means that democracy will have a stronger voice. But we fear history may not support that. The problem is, this is not a country that's had very much of an experience with democracy. It's been ruled by a strongman form of government. Some in the Middle East believe that these forms of government are necessary. They believe that they're necessary because the kind of underlying social dynamic, because they believe that the same radical forces that constitute the Taliban, that those forces are in all of these countries, and unless they're suppressed, they will take those countries into directions that no one wants to go. An example of that would be Iran. Surely many people hated the Shah, and they voted against the Shah, hoping that they would acquire democracy. But they didn't. They just substituted one form of autocratic rule, a secular one, for another form of autocratic rule, a religious one. The fear today is that there are all these opportunist factions in these countries. There are Marxist factions who see any revolution as a good thing and will take advantage of this one. There are these religious factions that are working very hard to gain control. The problem is that these groups, the Marxists and the religious factions, tend to be much more disciplined, much more well organized than the middle class or the teachers or the professors or the professionals. And that if the government is destabilized, what will tend to happen is that those groups that are prepared to deal in a disciplined way, prepared to ignore the rules of the road, those groups will take over, as they did in the Russian Revolution, as they did in the French Revolution, and as they did in Iran. The problem for us is not just that we're watching this from a distance. It is that many of the regimes in the region are unstable, and that the very seeds that cause this problem, autocratic governments, a lack of experience with democracy, could strike any one of these countries. And when they do, we could find ourselves in a region of tumult, and we could find ourselves in a region committed to war with a religious flavor and a sectional flavor that is something that we do not want to witness in our lifetime, but which we will have to devise strategies for dealing with. Surely our greatest hope must be that these countries will find the route to democracy. But given what history has been in the region, and what it's been in the 20th century, this would be an extreme bit of luck. We must be prepared then to look forward to a future fraught with peril, in which we will have to try to find our way in the world, and in which, as the world's senior democracy, we will have to find ways to redefine ourselves. In the past, we have suppressed the violence and danger through the use of force and violence. Those may no longer be available to us, and it may truly be that our faith in democracy will have to lead us to finding ways, through example and through courage, to bring these countries to democracy.